Hello and welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going through and correcting old listings because eBay has decided to resurrect business policies that no longer exist and is kind of like screwing me over. So thanks, eBay. I'm going through old listings. Some of my shipping policies that don't even exist in my business policies anymore are coming back, like priority flat rate bubble mailer. Apparently I have 94 of them in this video. That doesn't exist anymore. I can't even go and bulk change it because it's not in my business policy, so I don't know where it's coming from. One of those weird things eBay does, I would try to keep up on your listings as much as possible. This is easier for us. We have right around 1,000 listings, but if we had a larger store with 4,000 or 5,000 plus listings in it, this would be very difficult to do. Even though we have a smaller store with around 1,000 listings, which I can't believe. If you would have told 3 years ago me that I'd be seeing a smaller store with 1,000 listings, I would think you're insane. We were excited and we got over 200 listings and then 500 listings. And now we're like, we got to stay above 1,000 or our sales aren't consistent. So that being said, check your inventory, check your listings. The only reason I caught this at all is because a buyer bought an item with a business policy that no longer existed. And I'm not even sure they still have priority flat rate bubble mailers to get from the post office. I know that they still exist in postal service language, but I don't know if you can even order those from the post office anymore. We have smaller post offices in our area, so if we want any of the priority stuff, boxes, flat rates, anything like that, we have to order and have them shipped to our house because our post office just does not keep them on hand. It's not big enough to do that. Think like when you go into the post office, the desk area has one cashier area, and it's standing room to wait in line, maybe 4 people deep before you're out of the room. So very small post office. Does the basics, stamps and stuff there, and will weigh your stuff and you can pay for it there. But to get the priority flat rate stuff, priority boxes at all, you really need to order those ahead of time. I'm not sure you can still order them. I haven't tried because I got rid of that business policy, hence having no priority flat rate business mailers. By doing that, or bubble mailers, by doing that, I now have to ship a priority because I promised priority. When you're going on shipping, remember, you can only go up, you cannot go down. So right now we have ground advantage instead of first class. So if someone bought an item and it's ground advantage and I notice it's only going to cost 20 more cents to ship at priority, and it'll get there faster, 1 to 2 days faster. Not a lot, but the buyer will probably appreciate the shipping upgrade for only 20 cents for myself. So I would do that on a higher priced item. I'm not going to do that on the item I sold for $5.99, but if I sold an item for like $100 and I notice there's only 20-cent increase, I can go up. So I can go up. I can increase your value. I cannot decrease your value. So then someone who chose priority bubble flat rate bubble mailer, if I don't have those, I still have to ship priority. I can't ship down to ground advantage because that is a decrease from what they paid for, even if they only paid $8. And priority is going to cost me $16 to $19 to ship an item. I have to ship priority because they chose a priority mailing service. So I can't go down, I can only go up. The same with media mail. Let's say all these cookbooks I'm doing, I put ground advantage on a lot of them because they're smaller and it's not going to make a difference. But let's say I forgot and I just listed a group of books and they were, this is kind of ridiculous and I feel really bad for my post person if they sell. But I listed like an encyclopedia series and there were 10 books in it and it was 17 pounds roughly. I still had ground advantage on my shipping policies and automatic. If I had not gone in and changed that to media mail, if they had bought it and it had been ground advantage, they would have to pay for ground advantage, and ground advantage was $20-some, where media mail was $9. So that wouldn't hurt me as much because they're paying for the ground advantage. It might stop the buyer from buying it because they're like, oh my God, shipping's, almost as much as the whole series. So they might not buy it from me because it's ground advantage and it's very expensive. I've had buyers message me and be like, hey, can you ship this media mail? It's usually on things you can't ship media mail. So I've had to been like, yeah, no, I can't do that. That's against policy. Magazines. A lot of magazines you cannot ship media mail because they have advertisements in them. So be aware of that. I try to stay with just books as much as possible because that can be shipped media mail. Magazines, photo albums cannot go media mail. Pictures cannot go media mail, even if people ask. But I've had people ask, hey, can you make this media mail? And it's like, no, I can't. Some of the stuff I understand, like magazines, it's like, actually, no, I can't because the advertisements in it. But I've had people ask me if I could ship shampoo media mail. And it's like, no. And they're like, well, so-and-so has done it, but, I've got it from other buyers. I'm like, yeah, they're playing essentially roulette here. The post office can open your packages. If they see something is shipped media mail and it shakes with fluid in it, they're probably going to check it. So I've had that happen. But again, that wouldn't hurt me, but it might keep buyers from buying it when they see how much it costs. And usually with niche books, they're not like, oh my God, I need this right away. I have to have this book. It's like, yeah, I can wait an extra couple days and I can get the book. It's fine. So that would have hurt me in the extent that it would have hurt sales, but it would not have directly influenced how much I paid, where the Parody Flatmate Bubble Wrapper has directly influenced how much I paid. And honestly, it might have influenced the sale because this person is paying for something and they're only having to pay $8 shipping for it. So yeah, that it's lots of fun to go through and do these, but it's also making me look at my older listings. So there's that. We're trying to get more serious about our eBay stuff. I've been watching a lot of eBay YouTubers. I'm saying this as an eBay YouTuber. I've been watching a lot of eBay YouTubers and I want to go like, yeah, duh. Like, you want a higher sell-through rate? Find better items. And it's like, well, that would be amazing if I could find better items where I am. I am not next to a big city at all. And I am in a pretty, how do I put this nicely, economically deprived area. And the reason I'm here is because the cost of living is, I wouldn't say cheap anymore. It's not cheap anymore. It's affordable enough that I can not like starve to death. But we don't even really have a mall anywhere close. I have to drive like an hour to get anything. We have a mall, but our mall is dying. If you need a Kohl's or Hobby Lobby, we've got you, but like I don't have stores that are incredibly profitable. Granted, I'm not buying from those stores anyway. But if you don't have those type of stores in town, you're less likely to have people donate those type of items. The most high-end stuff that I'm probably going to get in my area, depending on who you ask, is probably the Lululemon, whatever that is. But I'm going to get a lot of bread and butter. I'm going to get Carhartt. I'm going to get Levi's. The Carhartt and Levi's I'm getting are not pristine. They are not brand new. I have worn these for a bunch of times. I can get those. I can get auction hard good stuff. But all of the items I get, I don't have a consistent. So I'm not going to be like, well, every Wednesday I go to the store and I can pick up all these items and they sell great and all this stuff. The closest bins to us is over 2 hours away. So we have to plan to get our inventory. We've been very lucky with estate sales, but again, they're one-off. I can't go, man, I hope another person dies and they have all this stuff there. That's just not a possibility. So I don't have a consistent item to put in my store. So it's like, well, if you list good items, they'll sell. But a lot of times these people are also paying up for items. I do not feel comfortable paying too much for an item to not know, like, to give an example. I was watching some lady who sells jeans on YouTube, and she uses the same bins or one of the same bins that are closer to us. So we follow her and see what she's getting at the bins. She mainly gets jeans. But she also goes thrifting, and she's like, well, I paid $10 for these jeans. I would never pay $10 for jeans. Even if I know I could sell the jeans for $100, I would never pay $10 for jeans. I think my body would go into shock if I paid $10 for secondhand jeans. So that's not going to happen. My comfort level for clothes is around $3. $3 is my max. I'll pay $3 for that and feel okay about it. Maybe that's because I know I have a huge desk pile downstairs and that's my cushion. Maybe it's because I know that I won't list it immediately, so it might not sell immediately, so I might not see the return on that money immediately. But it's incredibly difficult for me to spend up on something. In the last video, I talked about a huge lot of books that we paid $288 for an entire auction lot. Per book, though, we were spending around $5, which is more okay with me because they're a quick list and they are very niche, and I'm not competing with a lot of people on eBay, where with jeans, I might be competing against 3,000 others of the same listing. This, I'm competing against 1 or 2, and some of them don't even have listings on eBay because it's been so long and they are so niche. So that depends too. So you need to look at eBay, look how many are listed, how many are sold. So if there's like 500 listed and only 2 sold, maybe that's another great item to go look at. So all of that. Thank you for listening / watching. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.